Hello and welcome to another episode of the Solo Gamer Podcast. It's the 64th of its kind, but not all episodes are the same, because in this episode, the brothers unite. Taylor, Kyle, welcome. It's a full cast this week. Taylor, man,
I'm back.
you've moved. You're in the new homestead.
Yep.
Mos Eisley Homestead. That's where you are. You moved to Tatooine. You're more. You're
with my beige walls.
Dude, that's so accurate.
It's so accurate for where you live. Are you moisture farming out there in Phoenix right now?
Shit, I'm trying to. No, but yeah, I'm into the new place, and sorry everything looks really blank so far. Hopefully, I'll fill.
Yeah,
out
I'm pretty pissed off about that.
I'm not very pleased with your background here.
Step it up, okay? That should have been the first thing that you moved in.
I know.
Unpacked.
I'm gonna try to hopefully have it. It's so funny because I feel like when we were doing the podcast a couple of years ago, like I actually had like a really cool background with shit like
you did, yeah, it was sick
behind me, and there was no reason to have it. Like I think we were gearing up to maybe do video on the podcast at one point, but yeah, I gotta.
Well, you were trying to like stream and stuff too, right? I mean,
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I never pulled the trigger. But
you were setting it up with the idea that eventually we'd be doing video for the podcast, and you might be streaming and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that you're moved in. That's the first step. The best part of moving for me is always the unpacking. I love putting stuff away, picking from the small kind of boring things to oh, what cupboard do I want to keep glasses and mugs in? I like that shit. I don't. Yeah, that's weird, but and all the way to the really fun stuff of like putting up art and deciding the layout of the living room. Where's the TV going to go? I'm into all that. I really enjoy that process. It's the only part of a home moving situation that I look forward to.
Yeah.
I think it's all about the packing up, to be honest.
Oh,
for me, it's like I look forward, dude. I look forward to like just throwing shit away, to be honest.
Oh, sure. That's a good point.
I can't wait to find that thing that I'm like, oh, I haven't touched this since I've been here, so this is not coming with me.
That part is very nice. I do love downsizing, getting rid of clutter. I think I just don't love that first initial moment where your home, whatever home you're in, is still in the normal place that it is. And you have to start somewhere, and it's just so daunting. It's just like I have to get everything in this apartment or in this house in a box. And, you just start looking at it. Like, where do I even begin?
I always get frustrated with it too because I'm one of those guys that like whenever I like pack something up, like I will just kind of get started in like a random area, and it always happens that whenever I get to like 5 or 6 boxes good to go, I always need something from one of those boxes to like that I have to get back out again. So
dude, I hate that.
I was cleaning up stuff at my last place like as I was leaving, and it was just like I had packed all my cleaning supplies in one like bathroom box that had all that shit in it. And as I'm like going to clean, I'm like, I don't have my like Clorox wipes, so I had to like rip open those boxes to get everything going. I hate that shit. Yeah,
that does suck. Yeah, that is the worst because then you're in that. Okay, well, I can't start packing too early because you're going to run into that situation. But you also don't want to be the guy who's like gets help moving and you show up and you're packing your shit. I hate that so much.
Oh man,
like, well, are you serious? And then you expect, people expect you to help pack. I'm like, I'm not touching your stuff. I don't know where you want this to go. I'm not going to lose something of yours or whatever. Like, no way, man. I'll move a box. You tell me what box you want me to move. That's it.
For sure.
People are funny. Moving credit. Moving credit is a thing for sure. I feel like I left a lot of good moving credit behind in Phoenix.
Oh, for sure. There's definitely more than a few people that owe you some favors.
I don't even really look at it that way. I mean, a move credit is only good for another move credit. You can't. It's not being exchanged for food or any other no other kind of favors of any kind.
It would be funny to hit them up later to be like, actually, that's $40.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no way. But it is one of those things where it's like I'm always willing to say yes because I know
Inevitably.
I'm gonna need it someday. I will call in that favor, so you can always rely on me to help you move. Yep. I'm like a debtor. I've got a long list. Like, well, you see, in July 29th of 2019, I helped you move your 2-bedroom apartment.
You're accounting, like, your glasses. Look through the scroll.
Yeah, exactly. So with Taylor moving, and it's like the end of the crazy season for me at work. So it has just been fucking nuts around here. I have not done a very good job of keeping up on getting people involved and getting our prompts out for what the show is going to be about and things like that. I think we're going to settle in again now. I'll be better about updating our show sheet and getting the prompt chosen and letting all of our awesome listeners know what we're going to be discussing, so you can write in. It's just been a weird few weeks. I put a little message in our Discord, like, the one thing we're going to do our absolute best to do is not miss a week. We can be missing a person, totally fine. That's going to happen. Different things are going to, but anything we can do to avoid missing a week, I think, is the only thing I really am going to make sure of. Sometimes when life gets crazy, we might just randomly appear in your feed, your podcast feed, and you had no idea what was going on with that. So I do apologize. A couple of those in a row. We'll get that squared away, get things back. I have been messing around a little bit more with our social media stuff. I mean, nothing crazy, but this service, Riverside FM, that we use is really helpful. It'll choose a number of different things. It'll be like, oh, you talked about this and this and this and this and this, and you can kind of go and edit them and cut pieces out or add things to them and just make little clips. So I'm trying to be better about that stuff. I need to try and figure out how to get more like notifications for social media, because we'll get comments on our YouTube videos, or we'll get comments or responses to things on whatever Instagram and stuff. So it's all me doing that stuff. So I'm trying to be better about following up on all of that. So it's all new still. So we're working on it.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah. So we'll get better. And I have dreams of getting the YouTube channel really going, and that'll be more realistic as we get later into the year. My job gets a little less insane. I have a little bit more time. Not even more time, but I'm not a walking dead man at the end of a workday, and I feel a little more motivated and more energetic to get stuff done. Whereas like during the summer, it's just so crazy at work. So I get home and I'm just like, I just want to stare at a screen, man. That's all I want to do. So we're gonna have a pretty quick what you're playing. I actually have a couple things, but one of the ones that Kyle and I are both playing right now, we're kind of saving for a special episode that we're gonna be releasing later. Kyle, other than that one, you don't have anything else, right, from this week that you've really been playing?
Yeah, I'm kind of, well, I guess I had time to play yesterday, but yesterday was just one of those days where I was like, I think I'm just going to lay down and watch some TV or something.
Word. Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, I haven't been able to touch KCD2 this past week. Definitely look forward to doing that. But of course, then the other game that you and I have been messing around with, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess I've been using, I know we talked about it before, the Supernatural app on VR and working out a ton, and it's been a lot of fun.
I need to jump in there and
doing that.
accept your invite and sign up for that.
Yeah, dude, I thought we were friends, but
Yeah, well, I know. I was just like, yeah, can you give me that invite? And then I just don't use it. I just bug you over and over.
Okay.
Man, Kyle's taking
on the ground.
Threw it on the ground. Oh man, what a classic! What a classic SNL skit. Do you know that skit, Taylor?
Oh yeah,
okay,
100%. Actually, it was kind of funny that you bring that up, because a couple months ago now at this point, my girlfriend's cousin came to stay with her, like when we lived separately, and I got to meet her, and she's like 20 years old or so it's like far younger than any of us, and she was just like, I had one of those moments where like I start to feel it now in my 30s of like I'm just really old. And there's
It's
been
crazy.
nobody I've ever met in my life like her that's made me feel my age completely, because she was like bringing up like the Lonely Island songs and like music videos as if like, have you ever like heard of this before? And I'm like, I've heard of Jizz in Your Pants. Yeah, I've heard of you
Yeah.
know, like it was crazy, dude. I
Oh,
was
not
like,
like this, man. Not
I
like
know.
this. I had the same thing happen at work today. I had a meme from The Office in the chat, and one of our coworkers, she's like in her like early 20s, and it just flew right over her head. It was how the turntables from Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And everybody was like laughing because it was just a perfectly timed meme.
Oh yeah, classic.
Except for, and then she's like, "What? I don't get it." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
I think
you had to be there.
I have a take on this kind of stuff. So the feeling your age thing is a natural process, right? It's like that happens to everyone. There's going to be things I don't actually usually hold it against someone for not knowing something, but I have a pet peeve that you just brought up, Kyle, which is like, it's one thing to not know what something is. Like if someone doesn't know what a big thing is, like I don't get mad, right? I mean, maybe I'll be surprised, like, oh really? Wow. Oh well, so it's XYZ or whatever.
Yeah.
But this has always been a thing as long as I can remember having these kinds of interactions, which is like, people are like, go out of their way to let you know how little they know about it. Like it's a badge of honor. And that shit pisses me off.
Exactly what you're talking
What?
about.
What is that? The Office? The what? Like, no.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't know something in that kind of scenario, I will just go look it up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I won't be laughing, but then I go, oh, interesting. Okay, so that's from a show that was out a little before I was watching like a lot of TV or whatever. Cool. Okay, maybe I'll watch it, or maybe I'll ask someone about it or whatever. But just like this like declarative statement to everyone who can possibly hear that you don't know what it is, and like, oh my god, what are you talking? Like, I don't know what it is about that. It drives me insane. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Pride in not knowing what something is.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but in the opposite direction. Like when there's like an older, like person older than me, like maybe like in their 40s or their 50s or something, and they pretend like they don't know what you're talking about, like as if the thing that you're speaking about is some like young hip thing and they're just like not with it. And you know that they know what you're talking about, but you just can't prove it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
it's hard to describe. Like they'll be talking about like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, and they're like, oh, and I don't know, what's the purple one's name? I don't know. And you're like, Donatello, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's like
important,
like
for them
you
to
know
not
that they know, right?
Yeah,
but they just think they're too cool to like remember something or like have nostalgia for something. That stuff.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It's that performative thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or you got the people. No, I was just gonna say, you've also got the people who have to be different, right? So there's also the people that are like, I've seen it, but I don't think it's any good, you know? Like, and it's like, okay, well, you're objectively wrong. Like, The Office is clearly really good. It's fine if you don't vibe with it or whatever, or if it's not really hitting for you, but you have to at least really respect the show. And I'm sorry, I'm not buying the fact that you watched all of The Office and you never laughed. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I feel like the ability to differentiate between objective and subjective is really difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Really difficult. People just don't know how to
100%.
Which is interesting to me. You know, like that's a big one with music. There's a lot of music that I hear that I don't. It's not even that I don't like it. It's just like I listen to this and I'm like, this is good. I'm not going to listen to this in my car, but this is very good. Like I feel like that a lot about a lot of music that I hear. I'm like, yeah, I totally get why you like this. This is very good. This is musicians are talented, or the lyricist is really good, or the singer's great, or whatever the case is. Great grooves, a nice beat, cool electronic music, whatever it is. But it's so funny. It's people like will hear something that they don't enjoy, and therefore they're like, oh, this is awful. Like, no, it's not awful.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Right.
just a weird take. It's just a weird way to approach life. I feel like you're less likely to discover new things if that's the way you interact with the world. Because if you're like,
Right.
Yeah.
you might not like something at first, but then maybe you'll come back to it and you'll like it later. I don't know. Anyway, that was a weird tangent.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got there, to be honest.
You touched a nerve
It's
for
just
me,
the
though, 'cause
closed-mindedness. I think
get,
we're all like that.
I get annoyed at that shit all the time.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it's more prevalent in the internet age. I feel like too, because you can just kind of silo yourself with your own stuff and just never, which is so funny. Like a weird irony is you get surrounded by all of the knowledge and music and art and history and everything in the whole world. You get so surrounded with it that you actually go, I don't want any of this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, I only want my 4 things and I want to be left alone, which is fine, but it's just funny how that goes. Taylor, obviously you've been moving, so you have not been able to play a whole lot either, right?
No, yeah, not a
Heard
ton.
maybe there's a little bit of WoW in there.
Yeah, I hopped into a little bit of classic WoW just because it's like whenever I go through times of change or like an introspective kind of moment in my life or whatever, like I always go back to the comfort food that is WoW. I think like we talked about it in the last couple episodes. I think about our game that just kind of feels like home base to us, and World of Warcraft in any of its forms is kind of that thing for me. So I've just been kind of dabbling in it kind of here and there as I've been unpacking stuff. So it's been a good grounding agent.
Yeah, I love that. It's funny how that for both of us that is an MMO.
Yeah, I love MMOs, man. I just can't get enough of them. They're so fun.
That's League of Legends for me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've always gone. I feel like I hope this isn't. I feel like I tend to equate your playing League, like really playing League, with things not going super great for you. Not always, but like it's like sort of like not even just bad, but just like what Taylor said, there's a lot of change in his life. That's the stability, right? That's like something that's familiar and comfortable. And it's like if you've got chaos happening, or if you're stressed out, or if work is tough, or whatever, it's like that's when you living with you for a year. I feel like I picked up on that. Like, oh, he's playing League like all week. I mean, it's been a rough week,
Yeah.
Well,
it's the one place that I know that I can, for the most part, I can control.
Right.
It's good to know.
I know what I'm doing.
I feel like from here on out, we'll have like little welfare checks on Discord. Like you see somebody's like Kyle's playing League of Legends, Taylor's playing World of Warcraft, just shoot him a quick message. Hey man, everything all right? Like,
yeah, you having an okay week?
Everything going okay? Yeah.
And obviously that's not always the case, because you just get into it and then you're playing it for fun at that point.
Hey, well,
yeah, 100%.
A lot of us joke around, a lot of us avid League players, that it is kind of a mental disorder, because you gotta be, you gotta kind of be a little crazy to really want to endure what League of Legends provides.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that's the case for a few different genres of games. I feel like that's what masochism. It's like that's what they say about the FromSoft games or whatever else, Ninja Gaiden games, or these incredibly difficult, challenging games that are going to push you to be better. But I think that's oh man, this could be a whole segment right here. We got to be careful here, but I feel like that's sort of the thing with games in general, is that for so long, people who didn't grow up playing games understood video games sort of as like playthings, as toys, right? We've talked about it that a little bit before,
for sure.
But I feel like it's a hobby, like a real like a true hobby, and that means that it's not always about moment to moment enjoyment, even though that's why I generally want to go play a game is relaxing or whatever sometimes, but it's not always relaxing. Like,
yeah.
It's very it's challenging. I mean, when you're writing music, sometimes it's going to get really frustrating because there's a part that you just can't find what sounds right. You thought you had an idea, and then you actually go to record it, and it's just like, fuck, this is not it, you know? Or if you're an artist and you get into slumps, like, you know, painting or drawing or whatever, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of things that are equivalent to hobbies that it's like, it's not all just about like, oh, I'm just so relaxed and having fun. I mean, sometimes, but I wasn't having a whole lot of fun playing The Last of Us Part 2, but it's still my second favorite game of all time. You know,
I was just gonna say, I feel like the quote that kind of rang in my head when you said that was something Neil Druckmann, I think, might have said about like video games not always needing to be like fun at every step of the way. And like, that's kind of okay that a video game isn't always like the main thing you enjoy about it is like having fun.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think when that came out, people like gave him a bunch of shit for that.
Yeah, well, and again, it's one of those things. It's kind of, if you're going to give him shit for that, it's just something that's going over that person's head.
Yeah,
they're not understanding what he's saying, right? Because that person's hearing that and they're like, "Oh, so you're making your game boring on purpose?" Like, no, dude.
Yeah,
you know, that's not what I'm saying. You gotta
no, dude.
You have like those like foundational pillars of ignorance where you're up here and you're talking to someone about this, but they don't have this down here. So you have to like, hold on, okay, I gotta go explain this so that you then get this, and I explain that, and so then I can explain the top. You're so far behind on some of this stuff that, you know, it happens for sure. Where it's like it's too much for someone to comprehend what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's what created the downfall of The Last of Us, the show, in my opinion, is trying to cater to that mindset.
Yeah, just, I don't know. It was weird. It was a really weird. I would agree with that completely. There was just other things too that just didn't make any sense.
I need to watch it because I still haven't seen it. I just want to have an opinion on it.
Dude, it's wild.
It's crazy how awful it is.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard, and I don't want to be like one of those people who like all of the bad because I've heard a lot of bad reviews about it. Like, I want to watch it for sure.
Sure, yeah, and
form my own opinion on it. But yeah, from what I've heard, not encouraging words from just about anybody.
Have you seen the first season?
I have seen. I loved the first season.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Loved it. Yeah,
I'm like, well, first season you got to watch. I mean, that's incredible.
First season's phenomenal, and I think most of the changes that the first season made were actually beneficial.
Yeah.
In some ways, the show was better than the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it added a lot more context to like the relationships and the people, you know, where they came from, help better understand them.
It did exactly what I wanted out of a. It was exactly what I wanted out of a TV show adapted to a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, taking out the parts where like the video gamey aspect of it and like focusing more on like the background lore and like the world, and like those are all the things I want out of a TV show, and I think it accomplished those things really, really well.
And then ironically, well, not really ironically, but the one episode that Neil Druckmann actually fully directed was incredibly good in the second season. It was so weird because I remember Ian had dropped out a while ago, and I was like,
this is so bad. It was.
Ian was like, yeah, I can't do it, and I'm like, I don't blame you, but I'm like, I feel like I gotta finish this
through. Yeah. Sunk cost fallacy.
And it was all horrible. And then it was like episode 6 or 7. I can't really remember. All of a sudden, I'm like, damn, this episode is really good. I don't know how I feel about it. And then, of course, credits roll, and it's directed by Neil Druckmann. I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
Well, he's done. Did you see that he's done with the show now? He's moving on.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, and who knows if he was not loving it. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine he was really happy with it. It just we won't get too far into it, but it just completely, the characters in the show are just not the characters from the game at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
In no way.
I think that's the biggest problem is like, I don't mind changing things about the story, but when you like change the root of the characters, it's like, okay, what are we even watching now? Like, nobody is the same person that I know.
Not even close.
Right.
Yeah. It's like they did the first season and they're like, all right, we're just going to go somewhere different from here. But they kept all the stuff. They kept a lot of the stuff that you probably could have changed to make it work better for a show, which is funny.
Yeah.
So it's puzzling. It's puzzling. It's maddening, and
baffling.
Baffling. It reminds me a little of. Did you guys see Westworld on HBO?
No, but I've heard
I think I watched the first season.
The first season is it's one of the best single seasons of TV I've ever watched in my entire life, and then it's just absolute trash after that.
It's like True Detective. I hear the same thing about True Detective.
Yeah, I actually like the True Detective. I'm one of the rare people that does enjoy I haven't seen the newest season, but yeah, the first season is the best season, but the second and third seasons are not bad. I don't think they captured
They'll reach the heights.
feeling. I think what the people loved about the first one was the really kind of scary, eerie, cultist, brutal, oppressive feeling of the first one. But that's just because it's because of each one is focused on a different kind of crime. So the first one has this kind of like occultist, deep South vibe to it. It's in Louisiana. It's just like dripping with atmosphere. And the other ones are just not in that way. They're just about very different things. The characters are very different. The second one takes place in Los Angeles, and it's kind of like, honestly, the second one's sort of like an Epstein style thing. Like, and it's just unlike the first season. And I think people were expecting it. Every season was going to be this kind of creepy, mysterious murder thing, and it's not. They're all just very different shows about a mystery or crime being committed, and how that's not easy to solve, and how trying to solve it affects the main characters. That's all True Detective's about. But
interesting.
If you can go into them that way, if you do watch them, I think they're all actually pretty good. There's a couple things in the second season. Vince Vaughn is in the second season, and he actually does a good job, but he's a serious character, and it's just really hard. It's just really hard for me to take him seriously. It's not even because he's doing a poor job.
Right.
I feel like if someone watched
he's just so associated
that
with
didn't know anything about him, they probably wouldn't think twice about it. But yeah, it was really difficult for me to take him seriously in it.
I think the thing about Vince Vaughn is he's just Vince Vaughn in everything I've ever seen of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's like in this too. It's just, except for there's never a moment where he's going for a laugh. So you're sort of like
you're waiting for it.
Like, oh wait, no, that wasn't funny at all.
You're waiting for the punchline.
It just messes with you, because he's trying to be serious. He's like, "I'll fucking kill you."
The first one has
The
first one has Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, though, right?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
good.
I mean that makes such a big difference.
But dude, the third one has Mahershala Ali in it, and it's
okay,
and it's real good. But the third one, like, the crime takes place in the beginning. Obviously, in the beginning of the show, it takes place during a certain time, and it never gets solved until the very end of the show. And the third season takes place. It jumps around over decades, because it's like a case that goes cold, but you do end up figuring it out. That's all I'll say. But it's more about Mahershala's character and his wife and their incredibly volatile marriage, and how much they love each other and how much they hate each other, and how and the fact that they all met each other because of this crime that was committed that was never solved, and it's all about how it affects their life. And the writing is incredible and the acting is incredible. It just doesn't have the vibe, the scary cult vibe that I think people want from the show ever since the first one. So I think that's really what it was. So if you do watch it, if you go into it with that understanding, you probably will actually like them, because I think they're all objectively really good.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna check it out.
As far as what I've been playing, we're still in what you're playing. I did play the Battlefield 6 beta for a couple of hours over last weekend.
Oh, very nice.
Really?
I'm a big Battlefield fan. We were talking about this last week, Kyle. Like, it's one of the few multiplayer games out there that I've enjoyed over the years. Usually because, not that it's not skill based, the dominant players will be the dominant players. You get great snipers and great vehicle, great pilots and things that people get really good at things, and that will give them an inherent advantage, as it should be. But it isn't about peer to peer, like who has a quicker connection, who's got a quicker aim, who's got the 360 no scope. It's all about that kind of team based, squad based communication, work toward the objective. I wasn't really getting that from this one. It's a little bit faster, and people are like jumping over cover and sliding around with shotguns and stuff. So I'm a little concerned that it's not going to be what I want from it. Sound design is phenomenal. Battlefield has always had great sound design, and it's just the guns sound so good and feel really good. But like the time to kill, I mean, I'll spawn and just walk around a corner and get killed. It was just like, oh my God, I was dying so much. And that's always been sort of a thing in Battlefield, because you're able to spawn on your squad as long as they're not currently under fire.
Yeah.
So if you're spawning on your squad mate, and they're kind of out in the middle of the battlefield, and you spawn on them, and they turn around, and all of a sudden there's like someone on a machine gun emplacement or a sniper, you could very well spawn and die. But that was kind of part of you're like, well, you're the one spawning on the guy in the middle of the map, right? That's part of it. But this one, like, even when I was coming in from like the actual official spawn point, it just felt like it was on fast forward, like 1.5 times speed or something. Yeah. It just didn't feel quite right. But it is a beta. Maybe a lot of people will feel that way and say so. It's definitely good. I mean, it feels really good. It's good. The guns are heavy with that. You could feel the bullets are impacting. The destruction is incredible. It is.
That's what I was going to say. I think they've always kind of hung their hat on that, right? Like the big destructible battlefields.
It is insane. I mean, like, I was inside of buildings, and a tank would shoot the corner foundation of a building, and the whole quarter of that building would collapse from the top to the bottom, and I would get crushed by the floors and stuff. It was crazy. You could blow doors open with grenades and things like that, and it shocks the people, and you go in and shoot them. It's unlike anything. There's been destruction in Battlefield, but this was something else. I mean, there's even guys that can get hammers, and you can like hammer through the floor above people and then blow them up and jump down, and it's really, really good.
That's cool.
I just need some. Thank you, love. I just got a little snack delivered. This happened last week.
A little snack.
Just gives me a little snack.
A little snack. What do you got?
What's that?
What do you got?
I don't know. Can I get in trouble for this? It's legal here, isn't it? In Washington, it's legal here.
Yeah.
I have tomorrow off, so
you got a little jazz cigarette. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
it's just candy.
It's just candy, you guys.
Yeah, it's just a harmless gummy.
Because the nice thing about this is I'm not. It's not like I'm going to be high off my ass during the podcast. It's gonna. What's that? Oh yeah. Sure enough. She was saying you should probably edit that out because of work. I guess my job doesn't love it.
Oh.
No.
I don't know. I mean, can they fire me though? Because it's legal.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I
didn't have to take
100%
a
not
test to go to work. Just get hired there. Anyways, maybe I'll edit it out. Maybe I'll go beep. Yeah. and I'll put
just
in
an extended beep
every time I talk. And when I hold this up, I'll like replace this with like a Big Mac.
Yeah,
like JPEG.
Yeah.
Oh man, just make it a dog biscuit.
Yeah, just
edit it in, be like, wow, what a tasty burger.
Yeah. We'll just call it a snack. No, I took tomorrow off just because, and so did Alicia, which it's just been a rough couple of weeks, and work has been tough, and just it's been stressful. So we both were earlier this week, we were just like, you want to just take a day off this week?
Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
And I've only taken like 5 days of PTO this whole year. And some of that was half days, and some of the, and took a day and a half for my birthday. And other than that, I was like, that was it. So, It's nice because I have a ton of PTO. That's kind of the reason that I did do that. It's like I'm going to take a week plus to go to Hawaii in September.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some time after Christmas to just chill and relax. And then next year, we'll see. Next year's going to be tough because we're trying to save up for a wedding. So it's like, where do you spend the money kind of a thing? But if I have enough miles on my miles card, I might, I would really like to get a trip planned to come back down to Phoenix and see everybody and bring Alicia. It'd be cool.
Dude, I'll go with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you wanted to come too, Kyle, that'd be really, really cool. The three of us.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that would be awesome.
I want to
do an episode in person.
do an episode in person.
Tops
yep.
That would be cool
to bring with me.
Well, it'll should probably still be warm because I'd like to go in late March, and go to Mariners spring training.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Be fun.
Yeah, so I love spring training. Is a lot of fun. So, man, the Mariners are really good right now. It's so fun.
Oh my!
I've heard they're doing well.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for Gino and Naylor, by the way.
Yeah, dude, the Diamondbacks hooked us up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They're like, hey, you guys want some like?
No, really, don't mention it.
Really low ranked prospects that we don't want, and for your two best players. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
To be fair, I think it was generally a pretty good deal for them to offload two people on their contract years when they're not really winning anyways.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not. You guys were probably not going to re-sign them, both of them, anyways. So.
No.
Oh, they lost tonight. The Mariners lost their first game in like 8 or 9 games. Bummer.
It was 0-0 for a while.
Yeah, they lost 4-3 to the Orioles.
Oh.
But we'll get off of that. So yeah, played Battlefield 6 a little bit. I'm curious to see how it changes because this was like the first beta, and I think they're going to do a few more. And I'm not going to buy it right off the bat, but I'm definitely going to keep my ear to the ground. And I have a few people that I watch that I would trust their opinion on, like on YouTube and stuff like that. And if they get into it, I'll pick it up a little bit later this year.
I honestly, I don't know. Obviously, the ins and outs of like developing games, but I would imagine changing the speed and timing of the game probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
they're probably way too far into it.
Unless it's their number one, like the entire their whole fan base is saying, "Whoa, this is way too quick." And I saw something from a developer saying that they want to address the time to kill thing at the very least.
Oh yeah, that does make a difference.
So they could adjust their spawn points and adjust the way, small things about the maps where players meet and how quickly and all of that kind of stuff, so that to help with feeling like you're playing the game more than you're just respawning.
Yeah.
So hopefully that would help a lot, because it doesn't feel like Call of Duty. It's not that bad. It's not that floaty and quick and fast. It's still much closer to Battlefield than that. It's just for someone who likes Battlefield for being kind of slow and slightly more realistic. Because it was faster, it was a little off-putting. But I'm not going to say that that's just going to do it in, because it was a lot of fun. It was really hectic and just action-packed, and the way the bullets are just tearing stuff apart. It just looks so good. It sounds
like
good.
Battlefield to me.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's really good. And then I bought and started playing Mafia: The Old Country.
Sweet.
Which has been a lot of fun. It's I'm not super far, but man, it's just everything I want from Mafia. They are like that's definitely one of my favorite AA series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it still feels that way. And I don't see AA as a pejorative term. It's just a way to kind of set the standard and understand what you're going to get into.
Right.
It's it's a third person narrative driven action game. And they have some signatures about these games. They start out really slow. There's a kind of a slow burn to really make you feel like the story, the character is earning what they're, a Mafia is such a secluded, isolated group of people that they don't trust anyone. I mean, half the time, and you hear real stories about the Mafia, or you watch movies about the Mafia, which I'm sure are a little bit more exaggerated, but either way, I mean, these people are killing their own best friends and family members if they thought that they talked to the police, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always been something I've enjoyed about the Mafia games, because you generally pick up as a character who is not a part of the family that through circumstances finds their way becoming that. And it always feels like, okay, I could maybe see that. But the only way they earn that is by really you're not a mobster in a suit with a Tommy gun in the first 30 minutes of the game. It takes a long time to get there. In the original game, you're a taxi driver. In the first 30 minutes of the game, you're just driving people around town before you end up meeting the characters that will eventually lead you into that life. And in this one, it's really cool. It's in Sicily, and you're this kid. Like, he must be 19, 20, and he's working in the mines, and the conditions are horrible. And same kind of thing through a set of circumstances, he finds himself working as like a farmhand for a rich family that owns a vineyard and owns a lot of land in Sicily, and you're just kind of learning, okay, they call him a Don, and he gives people wine, and he is always the main person that sponsors this big horse race in town, and he's everybody's friend. And it's cool because it's really old school mafia from Sicily, so he's part of the. It's just neat, and I'm literally on this farm like scooping up horse shit, and that's the cool part. They really take their time. It's always been about the story, about the characters, and really feeling like you're watching this person's life and how someone could get entangled up into this mess. I'm sure it'll become an absolute mess. It's always a mess by the end,
for sure,
of the story. So I'm very eager to see where it goes. I haven't really gotten to any crazy action yet. There's been like a knife fight or two here and there. That's about it. So
I know it's really early so far, so maybe too early to tell. Do you think Mafia: The Old Country could be a Game of the Year contender? Like, with just kind of what you're picking up through the atmosphere, like
it's
the writing.
Beautiful. I will say that too. You know, as far as being AA, it does not lack for visual, at least as far as like fidelity. Sicily looks gorgeous. The environments are really, really pretty. Facial animations are okay. Yeah. There's some weird animation jankiness in it. I don't know if it's Game of the Year, but that doesn't. I wouldn't want that to come off as like, no, definitely not. This game sucks. It's like, there's probably, and we'll see if the story is good enough for me. If I was picking a personal Game of the Year, that might be enough to pick it up, even if it's not. I haven't played a ton of games that have come out this year. I've been playing a lot of games, but I'm trying to think about.
I'm trying to gauge
what's even come out really so far that's been like really big. KCD 2, I haven't played that.
I personally not a fan, but apparently Monster Hunter is a big hit.
Oh yeah, I can't do Monster Hunter, but it's great.
They're really good. With kind of a rocky launch, I think people were saying
it's sold.
Dude, it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunately like consistently across the board from what I've seen in the top 5 of like Game of the Year, and I'm like.
Could be
I don't get it.
I loved Monster Hunter World. That was a phenomenal game. And that was the first one I ever played, too. I had never been like a super fan of the series before that, but they had just done a really good job of like kind of onboarding like new players into like a kind of intimidating, like mechanically intimidating game. But World did it like really, really well. I enjoyed that one a lot. So I wouldn't doubt it's probably really, really good.
There's KCD 2.
Yeah, I was trying to think like what else came out this year.
Obviously Clair Obscur, and then
Clair Obscur. That's a big one for people. I
Ciote is probably going to be in the conversation.
What I was going to say earlier was that the thing I was trying to gauge with Mafia is like, because I kind of feel the way maybe about how you would feel about Mafia as like Clair Obscur. Like, I think Clair Obscur will end up being in my top 5 of this year once I get around to everything. But I would not like say it's a game of the year, for me personally. Like, I just have this weird feeling. Maybe at the end of the year it all shakes out that way, but my initial gut feeling is like this was really good, but I don't know if this is going to be like my favorite game I've played this year. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like Baldur's Gate 3.
You got to, yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, you got to think about the landscape, right? Is like what's really competing with Clair Obscur. And as much as I said in the beginning, like after I played it, that this is not like for me, like game of the year level. Unfortunately, it feels kind of like a down year in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clair Obscur might take it just because I don't know if there's a ton of competition. I personally feel like from what I've played, KCD2 is without a doubt so far like
I don't think
the
that's a
game
hot
of the
take.
year.
I've heard a lot of people that really love
there.
KCD.
It's getting a lot of mixed reviews, and I think it might just because it's just not for some people their like taste of like a game, because there are elements of it that's like similar to KCD1 that are really grounded in realism, and it's kind of grindy in that way. Where you kind of have to do like manual labor things that you wouldn't normally do in other games. And I think that really puts off a lot of people. And so I think unfortunately that's what's gonna kind of be its Achilles heel.
It's got an 88 Metacritic, and which is not mixed. That's very good.
I guess what I mean is like in comparison to everything else, because Clair Obscur, I bet you is probably somewhere 95-ish or higher.
Yeah, I can look. I can definitely look.
I could see both of those games being
nominated,
at least nominated for Jeff Keighley's Game of the Year for sure.
Right.
I do kind of see his as sort of the official. I mean, not official as in what wins there is objectively the best game of the year, but
no, yeah.
I think I love his game of the year show, despite all of the horrible ads and cringy moments, because he brings all the developers there, as many as can, and they're the ones coming up on the stage and accepting an award. And I think that's the difference between all the rest of them that I've seen.
Yeah.
I just love that it's just a celebration of the people who make all this stuff for us.
So that's pretty much it for me. Is like, I personally think KCD2 blows everything that's come out of the water so far.
Yeah.
But I know that that's probably not the popular opinion. I just think the character development and the gameplay and style and like how the story has played out so far is just, I mean, it's up there. It's pretty elite to me.
I can't wait to play it. I don't know how to. Well, Kyle, you damn hero. What a great segue that is.
So good.
What a good segue that was. It was so good that I ruined it by calling out how fantastic it was. Because, man, I want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. In fact, I really want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. And those games both have one thing in common. They're on my goddamn backlog. Backlog.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, our topic of the show today, whenever you're listening to this, is our backlogs. We have done this before. This is one of our kind of repeat break glass in case of emergency topics that I always love discussing. And kind of like the top 10 games thing, we have not had this iteration with the three of us discuss this. And it's just another one of those things where people listening and people who will continue to listen are getting to know at least you, Kyle, because you weren't doing as many of these episodes back when we were doing the show. And there's also, I think there's some people listening that have never heard any of us. And these kind of help, these kind of episodes, these conversations kind of help put into perspective or frame the way we think about games, the way we play games. And that's how I always get into people I listen to with podcasts or shows, or I was like, oh, okay, I know how this person thinks, and therefore I can kind of I understand why they might think this way about this game or whatever. So this is a good topic for us to just cover tonight. We're just going to talk all about our backlogs in all the different ways you can. It's always a fun conversation. Have you guys noticed or ever seen, I just got suggested one and I watched one, and now of course YouTube is like, do you want all of these?
Dude, yeah.
Take some more.
Like, I watched, this is not the one I was going to talk about, but I saw a video about these saturation divers. Have you guys seen this before?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
So to be a saturation diver are these guys who are people who are diving at 600 plus feet below the surface of the ocean, and they're working on oil pipes, or they're fixing the big cables that run internet, like they run the internet through them.
Right.
If things go wrong, they perform like preventative maintenance on all of this stuff, or if something is reporting something's not functioning right, they go down there. And so it's called saturation diving because what they do is they have long, like 28-day shifts where they live inside of this sort of submarine thing that's inside of an oil rig or inside of a ship, maybe, I guess, if you're traveling to a certain part of a pipe. But it's inside of a ship that's the same pressure as the 600 feet. So you go into this, the apartment basically, and I mean it looks like a submarine. You know, they're on bunks and it's all metal walls, and you have hallways, and you go in there and it slowly pressurizes you because your blood, the oxygen changes, the blood level, the more pressure's on your body, it takes in more CO2 and right, exactly. So, but instead of having them dive and then bringing them up super slowly and then having to do the whole process again next time they have to go down, they keep a crew inside at that pressure for 28 days, and then when their shift is over for 28 days they slowly bring them out so they don't get the bends. I was just on a YouTube binge. I was just watching stuff and it looked interesting, and it was 14 minutes long, and I watched
how long 28 days would feel.
Insane. But man, I mean, they get paid. I can't imagine how much. I mean,
but I better get enough to like retire from those first 28 days.
Well, I don't know about that. I think you get these these guys are probably junkies for adrenaline.
Oh, for sure.
It's like the same.
I think there's something to be said about doing like, a trade or some type of job that is just like, that you're like in the top like 1%.
Right.
Like
no one else in the world. You're one of the few people on the planet that does this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So difficult that that you're like a part of the elite.
It's dangerous.
That probably feels, it's like being a U.S. Navy SEAL. I would imagine kind of like similar in that feeling. Not many people can do this. So I think I would kind of take pride in it if I was like one of those guys.
Oh, for sure. Guys
or girls. Sorry.
So I watched this 14-minute video, and now YouTube is like, "Do you notice this giant fish down there? The Titanic sank. The Titanic sank. Look at it down here. Do you know what pressure is down there? Do you want to watch these divers? Whoa! Did you know?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, YouTube, stop." Stop, YouTube. I just watched one diving video. I'm not into diving. I don't need an entire row of videos about diving. So
that actually is, I think I've intentionally not watched things because I'm like, all right, I don't want all these videos to come flooding in.
You don't want to mess up your algorithm.
It'd be like embarrassing, you watch if you watch something that's totally out of your normal routine that has nothing to do with you, and then someone watches it with you, and you're like, what do you watch on your YouTube?
What is that?
Like,
I've seen some weird.
I've watched one of these. I swear, I accidentally clicked on this one. Anyways, there's another. I'm sorry, I'm ranty tonight. I'm sorry, you guys.
You're good.
I'm going off to the side over here, just like, I don't want to talk about this. Let's talk about YouTube algorithms. To start the backlog conversation off here, it's a simple question. Deceptively simple. So I'll give a little additional context. So, Kyle, I'm going to start with you because we had a little conversation about this before. So I think Taylor and I are a little bit more. I think I could be wrong. Are a little bit more similar in this for this question. So that's why I'm going to start with you. So, do you have a backlog generally at all?
I mean, it kind of depends on when you ask me. Sometimes I have more of a backlog than others. I think right now, like we were kind of talking about it before, is I just took a peek at my playlist app and I was like, ooh, I still got Dragon Age of Velgard on here.
Yeah.
That's
take that one off.
Yeah. But that just goes to show, you know, so I kind of go back and forth. I'm just terrible at like making sure that I jot stuff down and organize it and put it on a sheet of paper. That's just not really how my brain works. So for me, it's definitely more feeling based. I do sometimes feel like I want to play, if I like, let's say, decide to play The Witcher 3 for like the first time ever, you know, I'm like, oh, well, I have to play Witcher 1 and 2. But it just really kind of depends, because if the game's too old, I'm honestly like, I'll just watch a YouTube video. Like, give me the gist.
Yeah, I've done
that. So I've tried to like go back. Like I couldn't. I'm sure the first Witcher is great, but I tried it and I was like, this is just too outdated.
It's so different for like the way that it controls and stuff.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a playlist. So you do have you have taken the time to use an app to record games to like remember that you want to play games. You have a list. You have a list somewhere that's not just in your head though. I
usually try to stay on top of it, and yeah, I mean, you're the one that showed it to me, and I think it's so useful.
I love it.
Kind of like there's something fun about like completing a game and then putting it in there, and then you've got your, you know, entire list of all the things that you've accomplished. It's similar to like achievements is kind of the feeling I get with it.
Does it stress you out?
I feel like it did in the beginning when I really started thinking about all these games that I wanted to play. And then at some point, I can't tell you when, I was just like, I just accepted the fact that I'm not going to have enough time to play all these games. So that makes me feel a lot better about it. I think especially as I'm getting older and I've played enough games now to realize that like, if I'm not enjoying it, then what am I doing?
Right.
I shouldn't just complete the game just to complete it. And I say that because I'm totally 100% the type of person that will just like spend a miserable like 6 hours like not enjoying the game just because I want to get through it, you know?
Yeah.
So
you've gotten better at being able to do that?
Yeah, because I think putting all this backlog together and realizing the size of it and the amount of time I don't really have, I think you kind of get a little bit pickier once you kind of see the grand scale of it. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm either going to stop playing it altogether, or I might just play it in the background while I'm at work. It might become one of those games like Avowed, where I'm just, you know, if I can get away with it without having to really care about the story, then it'll just become one of those games. Yeah. So it gets thrown into one of those two buckets. But yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit pickier. I think that's kind of one of the positives about what the backlog has created for me, is just, you know, I've got all these games to play. I mean, if we're not hitting it off right away, bye. Like,
so is it right away? I mean, do you have a is it depending on the style of game or the genre of game, of like, if the game is 8 hours long, 2 hours might be enough. But if it's like Witcher 3 and you give up 2 hours into it, that might, I mean, how do you know,
Sure.
How do you make that decision? I struggle with this, so that's why I'm asking.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, 2 hours is definitely too short. I typically would play a game for, unless it's really bad. Because I have had that happen where I'm like, this is like so, I'm not feeling anything out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say maybe like 8 to 10-ish hours is usually when I have a pretty good. I mean, your story better be moving along at that point. Like, if not, it's like, okay, great. Unless somebody's telling me, hey, like you've told me, like I even feel like as much as I love Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, the starting of that is like,
Takes a while.
it takes a little bit. It's like, the combat's fun, and that's really what you're sticking around for. But the story doesn't really get moving for a little bit. So thankfully the gameplay is great, and that kind of is what helps you push through it for a little bit. Not that it's like miserable, but it's kind of bland to start off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll play it for about a good 8 to 10 hours, and then if it's not really hitting me, it's like I don't want to do this for, I don't know what 30 plus hours the average game is nowadays. And especially with the way I'd like to play games, like I have a hard time not trying to do all the side quests and all the extra little things. So I know how I get, so I have to like forcefully be like, hey, this is kind of mid. And if you don't stop now, you're going to end up, spending 30 hours of your time playing a mid game.
No.
Because if I get too deep, I definitely feel like I have to commit now.
Well, and sometimes mid games are funny because I will know something is mid, but I'm getting... Oh, here go my dogs. Uh-oh. I will know something is mid, but I will not want to... It's not bad enough for me to give up, or there's one part of it that I'm into.
Yeah.
You guys ever feel that way?
Yeah, definitely.
100%. I always feel like... I don't know. I feel like I'm too forgiving sometimes when it comes to like a part of a game that like you could have the best 2 to 3 hour experience, and then you get into like that 4, 5, 6 hour range where it kind of slowly drifts off. And I kind of get to the point where I think you'd be completely justified in like dropping the game, but I just have such a difficult time like abandoning things. Like it's insane.
Yeah, my thing is like, if the gameplay is not absolutely, like, if the gameplay is not really, really fun, or if I don't care about any of the characters, that's my like thing. Like those are like the two most important things to me.
Yeah,
it's okay if the story is not great, if the gameplay is fun. That's like what made me push through Mass Effect Andromeda, because it's like this, all the combat is incredible here.
It's so good.
Yeah. But everything else is just so bland and it's felt so empty.
Yeah.
But I just, but it's just like, okay, I'm going to push through and hopefully I get into a fight here soon, But yeah, it's got to be one of those two things for me. Those are like the two most important. Like if I find myself not caring about the character and the gameplay is also just kind of like okay and average, I can't push through it anymore. I don't think I don't have enough time to be playing video games for 12 hours a day anymore. So
right.
Like I used to, whereas like back then it was like, yeah, definitely I would crush a game just because I had nothing really else to do.
Yeah.
That is insane. Yeah, the priorities change with that. Yeah. Your ability to spend the time on things and how you want to prioritize it. How about you, Taylor? Do you I know you have a backlog, obviously. We've talked about this before. How do you keep track? Do you use an app or?
Yeah, I have kind of a lot of different methods for how I kind of store my backlog. I think lately I've been using this app, and it's actually an app that I've been using for many years now. It's an app on iPhone called Game Track. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. I think you actually used to have it at one point, Ian.
When I had an iPhone, I used that.
Yeah. So I've been using this app called Game Track, and I've been using it for a while. It's actually like super intuitive, and I really, really like it. They've had a lot of UI changes in the last couple of years that I haven't been a fan of, but I like it because it kind of gives you this really nice slideshow of different games that you're playing in your backlog. And you can sync it up to your like Xbox account or like your Steam account, and it'll actually show you like how much of a percentage you are through the main story of the game.
That's cool.
So it's a really cool like way to keep track of it, and I think it bases it off of like whatever the howlongtobeat.com like time is essentially. So it gives you this really cool granular view where you like click on a game and you could see like how long to beat, like main story is this many hours, how much is the story plus extras this many hours, and it gives you like a really cool breakdown. So I've used
That's
that.
incredibly helpful.
Oh, it's awesome. It's been a really cool way to track just kind of what I'm playing, but also at the same time, I feel like for me lately, I used to be a lot better about checking those like games off of my list and kind of getting them off of there. I've had a couple of these games on my backlog for a while, and they've kind of slowly built up over time to where it's kind of getting unmanageable. And I think one of the things I wanted to like question I kind of wanted to pose or like posit to everybody is like how do you know when to kind of give up on something? I know you kind of touched on that a little bit, Kyle, but for me in particular, one of the games I was playing that came out this year was Doom: The Dark Ages, and I played maybe the first like 2 or 3 hours of it, and just really was not feeling it at all. Like I don't know what it was. I think maybe I just wasn't in the right mood for it. Generally, I feel like I have to be in kind of like a weird mood to play a FPS game, but I think it was a big step down from Eternal, and I think I started to kind of feel that within just the first couple hours. So, um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I want to kind of like talk about that too because I definitely played like several hours of it, and this might be a harsh take, but I mean, I felt like I was playing like Battlestar Galactica, like but with better graphics. Like, I'm just, and maybe this is just a hot take on like Doom in general, and maybe I just don't understand Doom a whole lot. But it's like, yeah, it is fast paced, but you're like mostly like seeing these visibly like bright shots that are coming at you, and you're kind of just dodging left and right, and then like shooting back at them, and then moving on to the next level. I'm not quite understanding the allure of Doom in general. And so I do kind of agree with you in that sense where I was like, I just don't know. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be liking here.
Well, my big thing is that it seemed like one of the things I really appreciate about Doom, and especially this like reboot series with 2016 and Eternal, is it kind of just felt like one of those games where like gameplay is king. You know, like you get into it because it's fast paced, the systems work really well, the combat is like a puzzle. You're like systematically taking out these different demons, and like you almost kind of go into this flow state as you're kind of killing demons. What automatically put me off about this new one is that it feels like they're trying to make the story and like the lore of like the Doom universe kind of like the main focus. And I'm just kind of sitting there as I'm watching this cutscene of people arguing about the Doom Slayer, and I'm like, can I just go back to killing demons with
Yeah, it's just not really what you go there for.
motivation? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a bad take either, but I absolutely adore Doom 2016.
Same.
Excuse me. I feel like it was it knew that core tenet, Taylor, about being gameplay first, and it even put it into the story itself, that initial where the head of the research station is trying to talk to you about why you shouldn't destroy this thing, and in the middle of a sentence you destroy the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and toss him to the side. And I think it is, Kyle, just to answer kind of your question, like what it is you're supposed to, what people enjoy about the new Doom games, at least for the first one, the 2016 one, is like, it's the one core tenet about that game that I really like. It's somewhat similar to Halo, not the gameplay, but what it's asking the player, which is you enter a space and it teaches you through experience, these enemies will do this to you. These enemies, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Like these enemies plays off of this. And it slowly stacks it up and teaches you how to address each of these. And then it'll group 2 of them together. And then it groups 3 of them together. And as you keep going, you've got all these new weapons that help you defeat all these different kinds of enemies. And they all produce different threats. And you need to execute them to get health. So you need to be aggressive when you're on low health. And it turns into this, it's like a dance. And it's just a lot of fun. You switching weapons, blowing this guy's head off, ripping this dude apart to get health, running up this, grabbing this item, using the rockets on this guy because he's weak to those, getting over here, destroying this. And it's like, it just turns into this. It's fast, but you're so in control, and you're analyzing and sort of reducing the game world into these basic kind of strategies. And it's just really, really, really satisfying to get good at it and to just master it. And by the end of it, it's sort of like getting through a really hard song on Guitar Hero or something. Like, you're just like, fuck yes, man. Like, I just nailed this. That was awesome. And it's just so much fun. Eternal for me got a little too fast. It became a skill issue where I just felt like I wasn't enjoying it as much. It was just more about how fast you could go and the grappling hook and all this. It was just a little too much. My old man brain was showing with Eternal, and I've not played the new one yet, so I can't say anything. But the focus on story is like, what the fuck are we doing? This is not what I care about with this game at all.
Yeah. What did you think about the gameplay though? Because I do love it. I mean, in the most recent one.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
Okay, because I mean, maybe I need to go back and play the other Dooms because I didn't get that feeling of like that everything was just kind of like one. Because when I watch people play Doom or just the content that I've seen, it looks fun because everything is kind of fast paced, but it's all like a fluid like pattern and motion, and like you're just constantly moving and you know what you're doing, but it's fast and chaotic. That part seems really fun to me.
That's the first
I didn't feel like, I didn't feel like that was really hitting here on this game for me. I didn't feel. No, I feel like there was a lot of moments where you were like actually stopping and like getting in like hand-to-hand combat, and like I felt like I was shield bashing the same guy repeatedly sometimes, and I'm like, it's like, why am I stopping to having to kill this guy? That's the part where I'm like, I feel like I thought Doom was supposed to be this like fast-paced thing where I'm, the number one mechanic and the number one skill is making sure that you're constantly moving.
Yeah. Well, they got rid of the combat puzzle aspect of it, I think, almost completely in this new one. I'm not getting nearly the same like sense of feeling and like sense of accomplishment that I did. Like you were saying, Ian, like when you like get into an arena with like a bunch of demons and you can systematically kind of go into a flow state and jump between killing all of them, like you don't get nearly the same feeling. And also I feel like the guns don't punch as hard as they did in Eternal or 2016. Like I didn't feel like the sense of weight of like the shotgun or anything like that. And I think that they've gone back and maybe patched some of that stuff in to kind of make it a little bit more like Eternal-esque, I think. But I think it's already kind of too late. Like you have to have had this stuff ready to go at launch. And
I think that was part of the design. Like I remember someone from the team, it was creative director or something, stating that they wanted this one to in Eternal you were a Apache helicopter, and this is not a quote. I'm paraphrasing and kind of just getting to the point of what he meant. In Eternal, you're an Apache helicopter, and what's the new one called again?
Dark Ages.
And in Dark Ages, you're more of a Abrams tank.
Yeah.
Which is like, because that doesn't sound good.
Very different feel.
Doom is all about the movement. For me, that's the enjoyment that I derived out of that is just the flow, the movement, the constant movement. It's just so fun. It's like combining a really good racing game with guns and just annihilating demons. It's so good. We should do I'll put that on our list. The Doom 2016 would be a great experience point. That's still my favorite one. I love that one so much. So
that's good.
So we all have Kyle and I use the the IGN playlist app, which is there's a lot of that similar. You can sort your backlog by how long to beat or by a number of different categories to help you go through it. I found over the last couple of months that when I'm going through my backlog and I'm using the playlist on my phone, I was still having a really hard time deciding what to play next and how to balance what I'm playing. Am I playing a game from this year, like a new game? Am I replaying an old game that I really like? Am I playing something that's older from my backlog? And trying to figure out how to balance all of that. And I ended up making a sheet, like a Google sheet, a spreadsheet. It's like Google's Excel or whatever. And just sort of, I went through and I color coded all of it and stuff, which sounds insane, absolutely insane. It is kind of insane, but it kind of helped me make a strategy of like, okay, I want to make sure I get a balance of things. I want to kind of keep up on modern games that are coming out. I don't feel the same pressure to play everything, but I want to make sure I'm playing 2 to 3 games that come out from this year. So that gives me sort of like a starting lineup of like, okay, I'm going to play this, this, and this maybe. You know, these are the games I'm most interested in. So I'll figure out how to place those. I want to make sure that I get through this one this year, whatever. Like I'll come up with some kind of logic in my head. Do you guys have any kind of a strategy? Kyle, do you have a strategy about how you attack it next, or are you more in the moment just grabbing whatever you want to after you finish the current thing?
I think it's more of just like mentally I have games tiered out of like just overall interest. So I guess it would be more of a feeling based because that can change when a new game comes out. You know, like I had a backlog until, you know, KCD 2 came out, and then it was like, okay, that's immediately at the top of that list. So I'm playing that as, you know, as soon as I finish up Clear Obscure. So yeah, it is kind of like more feeling based right now. It's a pretty small list that I need to go back and kind of like figure out. So yeah, that's just how I'd view it, is like, what am I most interested in playing?
Yeah.
But I think that will kind of adjust to, you know, now that we're doing this podcast, because it's also going to kind of depend on what it is that we're, you know, wanting to talk about too. So that'll be kind of fun. That kind of like adjusts the backlog a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Taylor? Do you kind of plan any of this stuff out? Do you have an idea of what you want to do throughout a year or the next couple months, or do you just kind of taking it game by game as you go?
I think the strategy I've tried to implement in the last couple years has been to try and finish whatever I think is going to be the shortest game on the list. Like, if you look on my Game Track app, I think the game that I've pegged as kind of like the one that I could probably finish really easily, because one, I don't have much left to play of it, and two, it's not really a long game in general, is the original Earthbound. Because generally I think that game is probably going to be like 20-ish hours to beat. Like, it's really not going to take me that long to do it. And so I almost kind of look at it in the same way that you would, like, this is such a weird analogy, but like almost in the way that like you would tackle, like, if you had debt, right? You want to pay off like kind of the thing that you owe the least on first, and you can kind of go up and up from there. Like, I'm getting into Metaphor or like Persona or something,
Big games.
and I know that that's going to take a long time for me to finish. So I'm not in any rush to like feel like I have to put like 30 hours into it a week or something like that. I'll like chew on those games throughout the year and put in like 5 hours this week, 10 hours this week. So that way, by the time I'm done by the end of the year, like I'll have put like 100 hours into something and not even known it. So generally, I think I've tried to tackle it that way, where like the games I'll start with first are going to be those like 8 hour to like 16 hour type games, where like maybe I could beat it in a couple weekends, or if I play a little bit here and there through the week, that I can finish it up in like a 2 or 3 week span. And I've generally found that strategy works best for me, and kind of my tunnel vision with things.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's someone who would be listening to this, excuse me, from the outside and not having a similar hobby that would require that. No, requires it, maybe a strong word, but that might bring this out of us is think this is crazy. I mean, you're just supposed to be enjoying yourself. But I think for me, it's like it's not about completing the backlog necessarily, because you're going to keep adding to it, right, over your lifetime. But it's about being able to make sure. I like to be able to know that I can finish something within a reasonable amount of time, because I want the experience of a game to I want to be able to have it wash over me a little bit when I'm finished. Because there's times where I have not thought this stuff out and I'm picking just kind of whatever I want in the moment. And then life gets crazy or whatever. And it's a really heavy story-based game, and I don't play it, and I come back and okay, how do I do this part? Or where am I in this game? And so it's kind of forced me as I've gotten older, and I understand where games belong on the list of priorities, which is still pretty high because it is my favorite thing. But it's my favorite hobby, but it helps me to be able to balance it and not feel like I'm never getting to play games. Because the thing is, what I hate the most is like picking up a game like a Witcher 3, for example, or Cyberpunk, knowing I have 48 minutes.
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to do in any of these games? I'm going to walk across a field, read a journal entry, and like
you're going to
get through a cutscene, and it's over.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's so frustrating and unsatisfying.
And you hate to like stop in the middle of like a side quest or like just a secondary quest in the middle of a main story where you're like, I don't want to stop in the middle of this. I want to kind of like complete it all the way through, at least this section where you feel like you can stop. So I totally agree with you there.
Yeah, and I don't like feeling the pressure to play something. Oh man, this game is really long. I better figure out a way to just get the hours into it, because then it does start to feel like a job.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's like I've learned I've figured out kind of almost this year, really, over the last calendar year from now, maybe since last season. So with my life being so run by when certain fruit grows on trees, I my whole life is very seasonal now. It's like August, the month of July and August are like Elder Scrolls Online and a sports game or whatever. Just the easiest things to put down. I can accomplish what feels like progress without needing hours.
Yeah.
It's not this really long, epic, immersive game that I'm trying to play at 7 p.m. when the sun is incredibly bright and I can't see shit in a horror game or just a dark game. Like all these little things that I've realized over time affect my enjoyment of it. So it's like I have completely mapped out, maybe not exactly what game I'm going to play, but the type of game, the scope of game that I'm going to play. So it's like I almost start with the beginning of when things start to get a little busier for me. So like April, I start to pick short games I can beat in like 10 to 20 hours. And I can get a couple of those done between April and the end of June. I can get 2-3 games in. Boom. 3 off my list. And then summertime gets really insane for me. July, August, Elder Scrolls Online, or maybe a new game like Mafia Old Country that I don't think it's going to be super long. And we've been playing Madden, right? A little bit. So it's like those are all extremely non-committal, pretty much. And it's starting to slow down at work. I'm going to get done with Mafia, and then we're going to be in the fall, and then I'm going to play some scary games, which are usually not very long. So then I'll play a couple scary games because it's fun. In October, I'll play. We have Chronos coming out September 5th, actually. And then
that's soon.
Yeah, September 5th, and then we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing BioShock here shortly for our Experience Point episode. So that is going to be kind of a thing. Those are both. That's 2 more One is a replay, which is actually going to be my next question to you guys. One's a game for me, a replay of a game that I love, and then another is going to be a new horror game, and there I am by November. I've got a couple more games off the list, and now wintertime, I have time, both from work and also just I'm not. It's really cold out. It's dark by 4:30 p.m. It's just like the season lends itself toward, hey, do you want to just get under a blanket and play games for 6 hours?
God, that sounds so nice.
Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to do that.
Oh my God.
Say less.
Hey, Alicia, are you feeling sleepy? Because her and the dogs are going to come up and crash out right next to me, and I'll sit there playing an amazing, epic role-playing game in December on a weekend off, and just sitting there, and she's asleep, and the dogs are asleep. I'm like, this life does not get better than this,
Yeah.
Just being with her and with my dogs, and they're all cuddled up in my lap, and she's sleeping, and I'm just playing Witcher or whatever, playing whatever game I'm playing in that moment. It's great. I mean, that's like my favorite time. That's like my favorite time of year, almost because
for those moments.
We just get to, and then she'll wake up and we'll watch a great show or movie or whatever, and we'll hang out and eat dinner, and then late night, if it's Friday night, Saturday night, wherever, we go back and play some more, because it's just like, and that lends it. So now I have this extra time to really be able to pour into a longer, more committal game. So it's like I've figured this out now, kind of over the last year or so. If I'm not going to get stressed out by this, I have to kind of organize. This is the way I am. I got to organize things.
I agree.
To make it work. Okay, so how we touched on this, and Taylor, I just want to get you a little more from you, Anna, because Kyle brought it up earlier, but and we talked about it a bit, but this quitting a game that's on your backlog, right? Quitting a game that's on your backlog. Kyle, you mentioned that you'll just give it a chance, give it a few hours, give it some time, and you're pretty good at kind of letting it go. What Taylor, do you remember like what one of the last games was that you did quit, that you're just like, I'm not doing this? That was on your backlog?
Know. See, it always comes down to me that like it's never like a conscious decision on my part that I'm going to drop a game or abandon it. It's usually just it gets to the point where, kind of like you said earlier, Ian, where it's been a month, it's been 2 months since I've played the game, and I don't even really remember how to play it in the first place. I don't remember what's going on in the story, but it's still really difficult for me to drop a game, even if I do that.
I struggle too.
That's kind of like where I am at with Earthbound, even, because I picked up playing Earthbound when I started dating my girlfriend last year, because it's like her favorite game of all time, and it's several of my other friends' favorite games of all time. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, really, I didn't have an excuse before, but now I really don't have an excuse not to try and jump in to play it. And I put in a really good amount of time into it. Like, I think I'm probably somewhere around like the middle to like maybe the last half of the game. But it's been probably 3 or 4 months since I played it. And I kind of remember where the story is. I kind of remember how to play the game. It's a very like simple, late 90s RPG. So it's like there's only so much you can do with the mechanics in that game. Like, it doesn't throw anything crazy at you. But right. I still just have this thing where it's just like, if I make a conscious decision to like abandon it, I don't ever know if I'll ever go back to it. Yeah. And that's kind of what scares me. So
released in 1994. You weren't kidding.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things that I've been struggling with lately, because I've been such the person that, like, just the kind of player of games that I am, I kind of like to see things through, even if I'm not like a huge fan of the game, just because I love the feeling of, even if I'm not super into the game, like if I can at least beat it or like roll credits on it, I'll feel good about like the time spent for the most part, I think. But man, it's just so difficult. It's tough. So it's never usually a conscious decision of like, I'm not having fun with this game anymore, I'm going to drop it. And I put the controller down. It's more so just a situation where I almost forget that I'm even playing it.
Yeah. Or you're just never in the, it's like, you're actively playing it, but for whatever reason, you never choose to do it. You always choose something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have been that way. This is crazy. And I think it's why it's so hard for me to drop a game, especially if I have a history with like the franchise or the series. And I feel like it's like, no, I love these games. I have to go back and finish this. It's like, it almost feels like I do feel sometimes like I have to. I stopped playing God of War Ragnarok because it just wasn't really doing it for me.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's no way I'm not gonna finish that, right? That's what goes in my head. It's like, it's God of War. I love those games. I love all those games, including the last one. I love the 2018 one. I just can't.
Yeah, that's tough.
Is this a time and place thing? Do I just need to come back to it later? Am I going to start over? Should I just force it and then maybe I'll like it? I mean, it's just, I don't know what to do with that.
That one's a little different because it's God of War. I mean, the 2018 God of War was pretty freaking elite.
It was excellent, yeah.
So there's definitely like, because I did the same thing where I stopped somewhere. Now, I don't even want to say in the middle of it, but maybe the first quarter of it.
Yeah, I just wasn't enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's just like,
it was definitely,
and I haven't even really thought about it since, to be honest. But I know in the back of my head that I'm like, I probably should finish that one.
Like, why do I feel
That's
guilty
one that I won't let
that?
go.
No, here's the thing about me and
the first one was so
Ragnarok.
good.
The thing with me and Ragnarok is I did finish it, and it was kind of the prime example, actually, of one of those games where I was kind of lukewarm on it the entire time, and I finished it, and I didn't necessarily like regret the time I spent with it, but it was kind of one of those things where I was like, okay, that was fine. Like, the gameplay was good. Big step down from the first one.
Okay,
like
so it's not just
marked. No,
okay.
For sure. It's definitely a marked step down from the first one, in my opinion. But I didn't I finished the game and rolled credits on it and didn't like regret the time I spent with it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
I guess that does make a difference, right? Is if the franchise or the IP, I guess, really matters to you, that, I mean, at least for me, that does make a difference. Sometimes I'll cut, I'll cut it some slack if it's like a game that's within an IP that I really like. That honestly hasn't happened a whole lot because usually the IPs that I'm interested in, they don't really ever like super flop.
Sure.
I'm kind of like, I know that this might be a hot take. I'm kind of starting to feel that way about Bethesda games. So we'll see
that's
where
not a
they're
hot
headed.
take.
I mean,
Me too.
I don't want to say that I'm not going to play the next one because I know I will. Especially it's going to be on Game Pass. Like, I'm going to play it.
Right.
But I'm kind of I'm definitely losing interest. I'm not really hyped about it.
Each release has been a slowly gradual like losing of interest for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like a great band that has 3 or 4 amazing albums, and then all of a sudden they just start going downhill, and you're like, oh.
You see them live again, and you're like, whoa, they're kind of getting old.
You just don't want to be, and it's tough. Yeah, they're a little old. These guys are a little. It's tough to like. I'm trying to think about how to put this. I try to be aware of whether or not I'm just not liking something because it isn't the way it used to be, and not liking something because I have objective problems with it. So I always am trying to be there with that. And that was Starfield kind of taught me that, because Starfield is not as good as Skyrim or even Fallout 4. It's got a lot of problems. But I feel like the fact that Starfield wasn't quite what was expected or wanted manufactured this whole thing of like that this game is a heap of trash. And it's like, okay, no, it's definitely not trash.
Yeah.
It's got, there's some good things about that game. Like, I try to keep that going in my head of like, how much of what I love about Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim is the fact that they came out when I was, 10 and 14 or 15 and 20 or whatever. I mean, that makes a difference. There's probably some kid who played Starfield. It's going to be one of their favorite games of all time because they were 14.
Right.
That's a fair point.
They haven't played that much stuff yet, and they're in this game that they're building a ship and flying around and landing and all this. We have all of this baggage of expectation and what we want from things. So it's not that that doesn't mean I don't think that Starfield's worse. I do think it's objectively worse than most of their other games, but it's just a weird balance to strike when I'm playing something and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. That was like God of War Ragnarok was tough. That's why it's really hard.
Yeah.
I'm playing this, I'm like, this is not doing it for me.
I also think that like I do hold a lot of the Bethesda games, near and dear to my heart, like the older ones.
Sure, yeah.
But I also, when I look at Starfield side by side to like the Elder Scrolls games, I don't see much what is the word for it? Like development from that period of time.
Right.
Like the game
evolution
still, it feels like, Skyrim or Oblivion. Like the way that the characters interact with you, the pacing and the style of the game, the way that they like create, I guess, maps and like different dungeons and stuff. It all still feels the same and kind of outdated.
Yeah.
And that's my concern with it is like, yeah, sure. If this is your first time being introduced to Bethesda games and you're young, it's like this game, Starfield is probably fantastic to you.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do think that the characters are pretty
horrible.
horrible,
The story sucks ass.
Yeah. But like if that's your first experience with it. But for us, it's like, dude, you guys got to change the game up because this feels like the same thing except for it's in space now. And the story writing is not nearly as good. So now it's really missing the target.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like too, and it's not like it's not any fault of their own, but I also feel like the time between games for them also is a huge
that's a problem.
Like that was kind of, and one of these days we definitely should whether it's on the experience point or just having an episode where we talk about Starfield because
I'd love to do
that.
that.
Was one of the things for me about that game was that if it had been a quick turnaround time from Fallout 4 or whatever their last game was to Starfield, I think I would have felt a lot better about it. But the fact that it was what was it, 10 years or something between the development of one to the other, that I also felt how could it not play a factor in my enjoyment of it?
Mm-hmm.
It's you wait all this time to get something that I just thought was really boring, and it was man, maybe I would have felt better about this if the turnaround time was quicker, but you can't exactly help that, which sucks.
Yes, that's definitely that's a great point, Taylor, because the amount of time it's taking for them to come out with these games and then for them to be that I felt like my thing is about Starfield is it's vast and large, but it is empty. Mm-hmm. There is not a lot going on in this universe.
It's a bunch of repeated stuff too, like assets that get reused over and over. It's the same weird little gas pipe thing on every abandoned planet.
It's every third planet you're going to run into a dungeon that's exactly identical to another one that you just ran into. So that's a great point, Taylor, that it's you guys are not only Starfield also not only missed target, but it's it's taking you guys a long time to come out with these. That's concerning.
Yeah.
Because Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was in 2018, 2 was 2025, and that's a small team.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both bangers. So what are we doing here? You guys are one of the largest companies.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the video game industry.
I don't know. I don't know. I
also think that it's a problem when they're same thing that YouTube video that I think you had watched it, and I'm not sure if you did, Taylor, about the interview. What's the guy's name? That he was one of the leaders of BioWare until he recently departed.
Oh yeah, Mark
Dara.
Dara. Yeah, Mark Dara.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Mark. Yeah, and he had, he played a big part in Dragon Age Velgard, and it was great talk with him and Maddie about, kind of like what happened there, what are the problems that are going on. And I think it's the same thing that I think we can relate to Bethesda, where it's like, I think there's just too many different projects happening, and we need to kind of hone in on like one thing and really get it right.
Yeah. It's about leadership too. People just need to be able to, it's really difficult. We talk about general managers in professional sports and putting together a great coaching staff that is talented and brilliant, but also gets along really well and builds a place that people want to come, and that they aren't stressed out to be there, and that the players are playing at their best because there's like all of these different things, external things that go to create a successful end product. And it can be really difficult there's just a magical moment where sometimes things just line up and a developer just goes on a tear, and then eventually they lose people and they replace them, and maybe they have one game that comes out that isn't quite right, and there's a big backlash because that expectation's so high, and it just slowly over time, it just takes longer. People are less. It's just the energy is just have this time and place in along the universal timeline where it's like everyone was there at the right time at the right place, making the same vision. They were on the same page, and bam, you get Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, like, and Fallout 3, of course.
Because Bethesda used to be the Warhorse Studios. Like it's like it makes such a big difference, I'd imagine, because that Warhorse is not worrying about, are we all going to get canned in the middle of creating this?
Right.
Like these guys are like, no, we're going to make what we want to make, and we're going to do it to the full extent and have fun with it. Like, we don't have to worry about the external pressures.
Right.
And maybe that's kind of like the downfall of all these mega corporations, including Bethesda, where it's like, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to create that level of content ever again, because it's so different now.
Yeah, I'm sure that plays into it. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't make the best development environment to wonder if your seat's still going to be there a year from now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, man. We'll see what happens with the next one for them. I have one more kind of backlog question. We'll wrap it up. How do you... This answer might get a little easier now that the three of us are doing this. We're going to do experience points. But how do you decide whether you're going to replay a game that you love, which correlates with you pushing your backlog out further? Because those are games that you do want to play, you're excited about, but for some reason you got to play Mass Effect, or you got to play whatever you're feeling, right? You're just like, I just really want to play this. How do you make that decision, Taylor? When you do you make a decision, or is it something that just happens, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I feel like I replay games quite a bit, actually, and there's not really like a method to the madness. I think definitely having something like the experience point is welcomed, because if there happens to be something that I feel really, really strongly about, I love the idea of going back, 5 years later, 10 years later, or whatever it was when I first played this game, and like kind of looking at it through the eyes of a 31-year-old man as opposed to like a 20 something. Like in our episode that we had a couple weeks ago, we were talking about like the Arkham games, and it's been probably since like 2015 was maybe the last time that I played through like any of the Batman games.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like perfect timing for me to like go back to something like that. So I definitely think the experience point makes it easier to be able to do that. But also I feel like, I don't know, and I feel like you might have been similar, Ian. I'm not really sure, but I know that when I have a game from a series that I really love coming out that has like an earlier entry, like every once in a great while I will replay the first one.
Oh, I love
before
doing
the
that.
second one comes out.
So satisfying.
Just to get like a refresher on like the story and the world, and I'm trying to think of when the last time I actually did that was, though. I want to say I didn't beat it, but I think before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, I played through the first Red Dead Redemption and like kind of got reacquainted with that universe and got reacquainted with like John Marston, and like it was really really cool to be able to replay that and get back into that headspace, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a great game too. The first one is excellent, so it's not that hard to get
100%.
into if you have the time for it. Heck yeah, I mean it's
Or a remake or a remaster,
Oh,
that
love-
always helps for a return, you know.
Speaking of backlog, I've actually never finished both of those. So
oh wow.
Some
Well,
of the best
dude,
games of all time.
I don't know. Saying you haven't finished Red Dead Redemption 2 is like saying that you didn't run the marathon
The triathlon.
without stopping to walk. I was begging
That game makes
for that
it
game
clear.
to be over when it was over.
Yeah.
And it's I do think it's like from an objective level, maybe it's one of the greatest games of all time, right? I totally admit that. I love that game. It's great. I don't know if I'll ever play it again.
way too, yeah, it's too much.
Probably did not need to have a 15-hour epilogue or whatever it was.
Dude, yeah, the opening
Oh.
scene is like, oh, I better buckle up. Like, this is a game.
It's
like,
good, man. I say I won't play it again, but that's probably not true. I'll probably play it one more time, but I need some time. I beat it in 2019, I think, and I was just so over it. Like 15 hours before it was over.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about you, Kyle? How do you just? I feel like it's funny because I feel like the way you treat this stuff is sort of the opposite of the way you treat games themselves, and the way I treat this stuff is the opposite of the way I treat games themselves. Because with games, I'm very experiential. I'm all about the immersion, the storytelling. I don't really care about the mechanics that much, and I feel like you're very mechanical, and you like to use the freedom of that the game gives you to build and like make an excellent thing and play it the best way possible and maximize. But
definitely.
You're also more laissez-faire about the whole what you play, when you play. You're like a little more. You don't have that organization. It's funny how our brains work in these ways that seem kind of contradictory. How do you make that decision to replay a game as opposed to playing something that you have not yet gotten a chance to try?
It's funny you mentioned that. I think especially replayability for me is not just about story, because once I played the story, for me it's like I don't really get that same feeling anymore. It's like I already know what's happening. So what makes things replayable for me is typically, like if it's an RPG, the RPG mechanics of it have to be really fun. You know, stuff like, dude, I have this freaking fly that will not leave me alone.
They're so bad right now. We have them all over our house.
I've just been waving this fucking guy away the entire time. Oh, I'm going to burn my house down. Anyways. Anyway, yeah. So it's the mechanics, it's the RPG side of things, it's the leveling. That's the stuff that really captures me. It's, you know, more so that like for Skyrim, for instance, the thing that I love the most about that game is just the leveling and the customization, that sort of stuff. That's usually what makes a game replayable to me, is to be able to adjust that and have different types of builds and looks to it. One of my favorites, because it's not super long and obviously a great story, but just the RPG of it is fantastic and so much fun to play, is Mass Effect. I've played through those three games so many times. And yeah, I think it's the RPG side of it and the combat that makes it stick for me there. You know, like same thing with like Total War. Obviously that's got a lot of replayability because there's just so many different factions and things to do.
It's
so I think that's really
driven.
Their two campaigns will probably be the same.
Yeah, so that's what makes me want to go back to games.
I just keep thinking. Sometimes you guys will say things that make a lot of sense to me, and I'm like, I'm fucking weird, man.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know, dude.
Kyle already knows like what I'm going to talk about. Like, Yes, the reason you might play Total War multiple times over is because there's lots of different factions and they offer you different experiences. How many hours in Rome 2 do I have? Let's see it real quick. There's all my Total War games. There they are. Rome 2. So in this version of Rome 2, which is the Emperor Edition, I have 330 hours of gameplay, which is not actually that much compared to what some people put in. Tim, who does listen to our show, is like, he's played more Total War than I think I will ever play in my life.
Yeah, last time I looked at his gameplay hours, because I think it tells you on Steam, I was like, what in the world? I thought I played a lot of Total War.
Right. I've played 330 hours of the Roman Empire in Rome 2. I've never played. I play the same faction every time. I am recreating history every time.
So in your case, every campaign is the same.
No, they're different. I mean, the way things unfold or change every time. But it's just, I derive my enjoyment from this like immersion thing where it's like the experience I'm getting out of it, not so much necessarily the mechanics of it. Like I like the way that it's different every time, but I like the fact that I have this sort of end goal. I've recreated the Roman Empire at its peak like 3 times in Rome 2 over the years. Like that's where most of those 330 hours are from.
I know.
Mass Effect.
So many times you tell me, you're like, dude, it doesn't make sense that like the ogres conquer the world. Like I
can't play the ogres in Warhammer.
Dude, I'm like, come on.
Dude, there's these big brain dead guys that like eat their own shit or whatever. Like
you're totally
they're gonna build an empire and conquer the demons and everything, and
they can't rule the world just once.
You're totally right, but in my brain is like, oh, they have like completely different mechanics, and I want to like explore how to, it is funny that you mentioned that, because it's like, it's just, that you are a very, like, you have to be able to create a story that makes sense even when you don't need to do that. It's like otherwise it doesn't work for you.
This is like my autistic trait, I feel like. A little bit like
special interest.
If my brain had developed in a way in which I could have been diagnosed, like this would have been one of the first things that somebody noticed. And I have played the Mass Effect trilogy probably 6 times through.
Yeah.
Same Shepard, same class, same decisions every time. I've never seen half of that game. I do want to play through the Mass Effect games as a Renegade with the bio. I'm planning on doing that, but the fact that I still have never done that is definitely, it's true. It's just weird.
I feel the same way. It's like, I do think some of the classes are kind of like, they just don't really make. I will agree with you there. As specifically with Mass Effect, there's certain classes where it's like, this doesn't make any sense why I would be some sort of like sneaky sniper that like has some like tech abilities.
I almost think that
this guy's clearly not the captain of the team.
No, I feel like those kind of builds are like reserved for the people who are replaying those games but want like a challenge. Like they almost want to handicap themselves. Like it's almost like playing like Dark Souls is like a wretch or something, like just a naked guy with like a club,
right?
Because you're just like,
you can.
I'm purposefully like making my character as weak as possible, so that way, like when I overcome this great challenge, I really feel like I like got one over on the game by like handicapping myself,
right? Yeah, I get that. I think that makes sense. It's funny, just all the different reasons. Before we end the episode too, I forgot. I was laughing earlier, Taylor, when you were talking about playing. You were trying to remember the last time you played like the first entry before a new sequel's about to come out.
Yeah,
and I was trying to remember it too, and I remembered what it was.
What?
It was fucking Dragon Age, and I never even.
Yeah.
I played Dragon Age Origins. I spent so much opportunity to play new games last year on Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition. I played all of them through with the DLCs from beginning to end.
Damn. Okay.
And then Dragon Age, whatever it's called, Veilguard came out, and I was like, I'm not touching this. This looks
Oh, I remembered mine
I
too.
Actually
by the
did
way,
the same thing. I only played Inquisition though, but yeah, I had to play Inquisition again, and then I was like, God, I just did all that for basically.
I mean,
nothing.
I like Inquisition more than most BioWare fans. That's like kind of the black sheep of the family that I really enjoy that game. Personally, but
Taylor.
Yeah, what were you saying, Taylor?
Oh no, I was gonna say. So I was wrong earlier too. I realized what the last time was that I played the first entry. It was actually The Last of Us. I think.
Oh, right. You and I did that for the show.
Yeah, when the second one came out, we played the first, replayed through the first one again as like a refresher, and that was a lot of fun. And I liked it more the second time around. I remembered that too. I mean, I liked it when I first initially played it, but I don't think I had like the appreciation I did for it.
Yeah, I remember you feeling very differently the second time through it.
And I love that, honestly.
Me too.
That's part of why I think replaying games is fun.
Especially if you weren't sure about them the first time.
100%.
A big one for me is Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Because that's like everyone loves that game to death. And I played it right when it first came out. So what was that, 2011, 2010?
Something like that,
like that. So I was only like 20 years old. And I just don't think I just didn't get it. I don't think I got it. And I really want to replay that because I have not played it since.
Well, they might actually remaster that. So
I know. And that's the thing is like, but if they don't, I kind of want to play it before the second season of the show comes out.
That's fair.
And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's some potential connection to New Vegas. And that was like, man, I don't remember shit from that game. So I need to play
dude, I actually totally forgot about that show for a little while. And then I was listening to Maddie, and then he was talking about the second season coming out. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm excited for that.
Fallout show's excellent. Excellent.
I got to rewatch it. I think I got to finish it because I think I got like 3 or 4 episodes into it, and not for any reason. I think I just stopped.
I get that.
Totally
just fell off it. Oh, the new Alien show is out, and apparently it's really good, which blows my mind. I can't believe that it's good.
I know.
I'm so excited to watch it.
Me too.
Dude, speaking of, I know I sent a message about it, but I definitely want to take a look at the Alien, the Fireteam Elite game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since it's co-op. I think that would be a cool thing to do if we watch the show and then get into Alien and do some co-op.
Me and my girlfriend are planning on watching all the movies through because I haven't seen Romulus yet. So it would be cool to.
Oh God! Okay, man, I would love to have a huge conversation about Romulus with you. All the things I loved, a couple things I really didn't, but overall, very good. I can't wait for you to see that. I would love to do an in-depth conversation about Alien Rom. Can we do experience points on movies? It'd have to be a name of a different show because experience.
I would be down, honestly.
I think everybody here would be down. All of our listeners. It's especially if it's something like Alien.
That'd be cool. I'd legit love that.
Michael Fassbender is phenomenal in that movie, by the way, Taylor.
Yeah. Oh,
every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm blown away by his performance. Yeah.
No, he was really good in Prometheus and Covenant.
Yeah. I was trying to remember, like, wait, is David in Romulus?
Is it David Fassbender or Michael Fassbender?
Well, it's Michael Fassbender who plays
David, the character.
David, but I don't remember that character being in Romulus almost.
So I don't know why I was thinking. I haven't watched Romulus then because it's.
You didn't see it in theaters?
Yeah,
it just came out I think a month or 2 ago.
Gosh, I was thinking of.
You watched it in theaters?
I don't know why I mixed them up. Okay, never mind. I watched Prometheus. We watched Romulus. Never mind.
God,
forget what I said. But Prometheus, yes, Michael Fassbender is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
he's great in that. And Covenant was mid.
I had fun with it.
The first half is incredible. The second half is a fucking disaster. So it's like kind of hard for me to like. I loved and hated Covenant. Like truly, by the end of it, I was like, I'm very conflicted about this. I think it totally comes apart at the seams at the last quarter of the movie.
I'm hearing. I've seen some stuff that the latest Predator is going to be pretty cool too.
Yeah, really.
The what was it called? The like prehistoric one that just came out apparently was like really, really good.
Oh yeah, I want to check that out.
Really
it's on Hulu too. Yeah, I need to watch that still.
It's very highly rated, so I definitely want to check it because the one that came out before that was pretty good. I can't remember what was it called. That Predator film where it was with the the Native American. I think it was Native American tribe.
That's what I was talking about. It's like almost like a prehistoric humans kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure they're like specifically Native Americans.
Yeah.
Like, not just like cavemen, but like I'm pretty. If I remember, my dad watched it and he said that they're native. It's like it takes place in North America, pre-colonization, basically.
Oh, okay, right, right.
So
I'm talking about the one that dropped this year, though. I think it's called Predator Badlands.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that was a thing. The Predator movies have a worse reputation than the Alien movies, even.
Oh sure. Yeah.
It's like
God, at least the first one is so good, though.
It is.
I know.
With Arnold,
absolutely incredible. I love that movie so much. And actually, I went and watched Predator 2 again recently. Not great, but not as bad as I remembered either. So,
I just think that it's just one of those things where
it doesn't really matter.
Like I was talking to you about it with Mortal Kombat. It's like I know that.
Agreed. That's a good.
It's going to be so bad, but I have to watch it in theaters. I just think that the characters are so cool.
Yeah,
and
it
even
doesn't
if
matter.
The story is like I'm going to watch it, and I think Predator is so cool. I think Alien is so cool. They're so unique.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things where even if it's bad, I'm willing to watch it.
I found as I've gotten older, my willingness to watch a bad movie and still have fun with it, I'm like, great. Like, sure, it wasn't a great movie, but I at least had fun with it. It's like almost the complete opposite with games. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It is weird. I think Aliens is a little different because like the first two are cinema goats. So it's like then you do have a little bit of that standard. So when Alien 3 was kind of a letdown, though I do think better than people. That's one of those ones that got better with time, I feel like. And it reminds me of The Hobbit a little bit, in which if you learn the conditions under which the Hobbit movies and Alien 3 were made, you'd understand why it didn't turn out quite right. And as good as they are, it's like incredible they even crossed the finish line, and it makes me like them more.
In spite of that,
like Alien 3 was disaster.
It's called Prey, by the way. I forgot the name.
That's right.
Yep. Dropped in 2022. It was a really good Predator movie.
Okay, I'll watch that soon. But
yeah,
cool guys. Well, let's wrap it up with just let's sign off each. What's next up on your backlog, if you know? What's the next game? Oh well, outside of course BioShock. Are we starting that soon?
I'm down. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, everybody, you heard it here first. It's time to install and play BioShock, and we'll keep you updated as to where we are and when we're going to be about done, and let you know when we're going to do the episode. So start thinking about playing it now, because I'm going to start playing it very soon, maybe even tonight.
Oh yeah, perhaps.
Taylor, what's up next on your? You've had a kind of a forcible break. Are you going to continue something you're in the middle of, or what are you starting next?
Yeah, I need to finish Silent Hill 2. That's like, for some reason, every time I've gone to play it, it just hasn't felt like the right time to do so. And now, like, we're moved in, like, the PlayStation's hooked up in the living room. Like, it feels like the right time to start getting that going.
Nice.
Because I just heard so many good things about it. I just have to, like, let it get its hooks into me, So I think that's probably the next one for me.
Yeah, I've been wanting to hear more about that. So,
yeah, absolutely. How about you, Kyle?
Boy, I don't know. KCD2 has been kind of like taking up a lot of my time when I want to play. Like,
you gonna try and finish that out?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna try to finish that out. And then at that point, Ghost of Yote is probably going to be around the corner, so I might have
October
time
2nd.
I might have time to squeeze in like a short game at some point. I might check out the Mafia. Well, I guess I could get away with playing. I don't know what you think. I could probably get away with playing this newest one because it does take place before.
It takes place before all the other ones. You could just play this and then just roll right into the original if you liked it.
So that'd probably be something I would do then. because it's going to be shorter. I need something because I know I'm not going to have a ton of time after I'm done with KCD 2 because I think I'm going to be getting started on to like the actual main story here soon, and I've already put in a lot of hours, so who knows how long it'll take.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, I'm playing Mafia, and then Bioshock's going to start here soon. End of this month, we also have Gears of War Reloaded, which I would love to play through all the Gears of War with you guys for an experience point. I think the first 2 or 3 are 2-player co-op only, though. So Kyle and I were talking about last week. Like, I don't know if you guys want to play it together or you want to switch back and forth or whatever you want to do, but that's one. And then Chronos comes out on September 5th, and then Ghost of Yotai on October 2nd. So this is just going to be kind of, I pretty much have my whole year laid out right in front of me. It's going to be a lot of newer games, I guess.
For sure, yeah.
So I've been really wanting to play Alien Isolation again, though. That documentary on YouTube just popped up, and it was like 2 hours long. I was like, I'm not going to watch the whole thing. And I watched the whole thing. It was super good. It was all the developers. I just love that game. And then I got my game. Oh, okay. Really quick before we log off. 1 second.
I wanted to know if that documentary was a Danny O'Dwyer one.
No, he did one, but that was not. It was a little more recent. It was only like a month old.
Oh, okay.
I also got this, you guys.
Oh, what?
They're back.
It's making more?
All the original team, they rehired everyone.
When did that happen?
The company got saved by some outside investor after GameStop shut them down, and they're back. And it's I have such a connection to Game Informer. But this is the reason I even remembered this is because sometimes the universe does weird shit. So I see that documentary. I'm like, oh man, I love Alien Isolation. I'd love to play it. I texted you guys about it. And so it's just sort of like randomly relevant to me. And this is in this brand new.
Oh, shit.
This is this month or like last month's article.
It's a sign.
So speaking of, I haven't even played it, but I have seen you play it and I've seen other content about it. And I don't know why more game developers are not studying how they developed the AI of that xenomorph.
Yeah.
I mean, still to this day, it is top notch. I mean, it beats anything out there.
I've still never played anything like that in my life.
Yeah. I don't know why it hasn't been replicated. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts, man. The whole reaction to that game is really interesting. You could do a whole show, and I'd love to do the experience point with Alien if you guys ever want.
We should, because I've never played through it.
God.
I played through the first couple hours of it.
So good. Well, and the first couple hours you don't even barely even see the alien. It's a really slow
That's what
start.
I mean.
Mm-hmm. So.
Oh man, that's tough. I think
I'm going to play it on hard too.
The experience point for that scares the shit out of me.
You don't have to do it. You could just be tailoring if you don't want to play.
There's something about that type of game where you're like, because you're not fighting an alien.
No.
If you're just stuck on a ship, so it's just really about making sure that you're careful about where you move and when you move.
It's like a stealth game, yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh man, that really just in my gut makes me feel sick.
How about you watch me play it? We could play it together.
I'd be down. Yeah.
Like through the fall and winter this year, we'll have we could just play it like we did Dead Space.
Yeah.
Because that way you can just watch it like you're watching an alien movie, basically, and that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And you'd still get to experience it, and you'd be seeing how all of the gameplay mechanics and details and all that stuff. So it's like you could still formulate an opinion on it, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
About the story and stuff. And maybe you could play a couple times just to get the feel of it and everything, Yeah, so that'll be really fun. Anyway, I just thought that was super weird that was just in this brand new article of Game Informer right after I randomly saw the documentary and been hankering to play it.
That's like finding the what is it, the Virgin Mary in your toast levels of Providence, or whatever.
Yeah,
that game came out so long ago.
Yeah, 2014.
What are the chances they did an article on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the chances are good, I think, because it's still people who are into how games are made are just fat. That's like a foundational game for achievement in AI and design innovation. I feel like in fact, I know from this documentary there are professors who have done their like collegiate essays on alien isolation because of how advanced the AI is, and just talking about its design and how it is unfair and it's so different from any other game that's ever really been made. It's nuts.
Isn't that crazy? I bet the military was maybe calling them.
I know, right?
It's like, hey, what did you guys do here? We need to put that in a grenade launcher.
It's all smoke and mirrors, man. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's what's crazy.
How do we program a drone to use this technology?
Right?
I know a grenade launcher was stupid, but I'm just throwing shit out there.
All right, guys. We're going to have a late dinner on our random Friday night and
nice.
Our midweek Friday night. So go do that and just stay up late and sleep in and just have a day off. That's my plan.
You son of a bitch.
I know. Hey, I don't have to curse at our listeners for that being Friday for them because it's Friday for me too. Kinda. It's not really. I got to go back to work Friday, which is brutal. But oh well. Anyway, Taylor, what do you got going on for this week, man? What's up? What?
Not a whole lot. Still unpacking, playing some Silent Hill 2 and maybe some World of Warcraft. So I got a busy weekend coming up, unfortunately. So I won't have a ton of free time, but I'll make some time here and there.
You'll figure it out. How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm probably not going to be playing. I mean, I've got an hour and a half left of the trial of Madden, but I don't know if I can squeeze a game in, plus all the prep for that week in the franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just leave it where it is. So yeah, I'm probably going to be playing some KCD too.
Hell yeah.
And
nice.
See where I can get with that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm going to be jumping back into Mafia. I want to get further. I really want to get into the meat of the game. So that's going to be my objective tonight and over the weekend. So next week I'll definitely have a more more to say about that game as far as a little bit more robust of an opinion because I'll be a lot further. So sounds like we all will actually have a what you've been playing section next week, which is awesome.
with some meat on it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And we will announce our topic here shortly. So please pay attention to our Discord or our social media for that prompt if you feel like writing in. So awesome, guys. Well, thank you very much. That was a wonderful episode number 64 of the Solo Gamer Podcast. We cannot wait to see you next Friday, but until then, have a wonderful, safe weekend, and we will catch y'all later.
See you guys. Stay safe.
Bye.